Good morning, children. Welcome back to the second video of the 100 dresses. We had so far discussed that Maddie had made a plan to go to Boggins Heights, and she was planning to do it alone because she didn't see any sign of remorse or concern in the face of Peggy. She was behaving as if nothing had happened and she was back to doing her regular stuff, that is studying in school. So this section of the chapter, we will call it Up on Boggins Heights. Now, initially it was Peggy who wanted to go, and after the school was dismissed, Peggy approached Maddie, and she faked, or she pretended, tried to present herself that she is being very casual, she is not very serious about it, and offered Maddie that they should, or suggested that they should go to the Boggins Heights, just to figure out whether Wanda was still in town. They hadn't left. Why pretended casualness? Because actually she never showed that she had remorse. But somewhere her offering to go to Boggins Heights, even before Maddie could propose, shows that she also felt equally guilty of her behavior. But somehow she was trying to put on a brave face in front of everybody. Right? That is the nature that we derive out of it. So they went towards Boggins Heights. The air of that part of city seemed forbidding, as if telling the people not to visit that area. You understand, when it's forbidding kind of area, it's not the kind of area where Peggy and Maddie lived or would be comfortable even visiting. Forget about living. It was damp and dismal. When we say damp and dismal, means it was kind of a soggy sort of area, as well as it was very poor. Basically, when we say it, one could see no hope of any development in the society or development in the people living in the society. It was the Boggins Heights displayed sort of hopelessness. Now, while on the way, Peggy, on her own, without being asked, started giving clarifications about her behavior. She said she never called her a foreigner or had fun with the name. I just had the funny dress game, and I did so because I thought she was stupid. She wasn't sensible enough to understand that she was being made fun of. Come on, which girl in her normal state of mind would say I have 100 dresses? Had she not answered or moved away, this game wouldn't have taken place in the first place. She answered she had 100 dresses. That's why this game started on, and we thought she was stupid. We never knew she was so smart. Now that we have seen the way she can draw, now we understand she is very intelligent and smart. Maddie was not interested in this conversation at all. Right? Maggie was totally not interested in conversation. She just hoped and prayed they found Wanda. She wanted to tell her sorry, and she wanted to also tell her that entire school thought she was intelligent and brilliant and request her not to go. And when they hurried and when they reached the house, Peggy figured out the house of the Petronskis, and the house reminded Maddie of the house of the way Wanda's dress. Shabby but clean, poorly maintained but neat and clean. Right? Maybe a bit broken wall here and there, maybe like the dress, it was faded, it was old, it was not properly maintained, but it was neat and clean. It was tidy. The house was also in poor state, but it was neat and clean, just like Wanda's dress. Now what does this suggest? This suggests the mindset of the Petronskis, a place which was shabby and dismal. They had also maintained it to the best of their ability. Now, when they checked the entire house, they realized the Petronskis had left. There was no sign of life in that house, right? They moved towards the backyard, knocked the door, knocked the front door. There was no reply. So they made it sure, they were very sure, and that Petronskis had left, and hence they had no way to make amends. Make amends in say sorry and make up, correct their wrong action. Right. Now, Peggy was not at all disturbed by that, or at least she pretended to show she was not at all disturbed by the fact that she couldn't make amends. Maddie was disturbed. She was desperate to say sorry. Now, they turned and made their way back. Peggy, on the way, without even being asked for an explanation, started explaining anything. She said, "No, she is gone now. What can we do after that? And secondly, maybe she should thank me. It was my dress game that gave her an idea of those drawings. Otherwise, she wouldn't have won the contest. So she should be thankful for me playing that game with her." Maddie just ignored whatever Peggy said, but because she was very disturbed. The entire night, Maddie could not sleep. The same reason was that she could not apologize her. Entire night, she envisioned Wanda in her faded blue dress. So she entire night thought about Wanda's house and where she lived in. Then she thought of the pictures, the glowing, brilliant pictures Wanda had made. Right. The way, she then got up her bed. She pressed her forehead as if the thoughts were troubling her brains. And this was the hardest time she had ever been through. She had never been so depressed and so stressed. So she thought hard, and she came down to one conclusion. That what have I done, and I couldn't make amends of that. But what I can do right now is that I will ensure that these things never happens under my watch ever again. She started imagining stories about Wanda being bullied and, Maddie taking a stand for her. Right? She saying, "Stop, don't do that." She wished she could do that. That's why she was thinking of those situations. Then she had finally decided tonight, after post tonight, nobody is going to be bullied under my watch. If I say it, I will be the one who would oppose. Even if that meant losing Peggy's friendship, so be it. She didn't care anymore. Because she now realized, when you know something going on is wrong and not taking a stand can hurt you to a certain extent that you could not sleep for a night. Your guilt keeps coming back to haunt you. So if you realize something bad is happening and you have the ability to stop it, never ever digress from actually taking a stand. And that was where she made up her mind. And this idea came because that was the concept. If I know somebody is being bullied and I am doing nothing, I am worse than the person who is bullying. Right? Because I was the one who had the sensitivity to understand the pain of the girl, but I did nothing. So when she made up her mind that she would never let anybody else being bullied in her presence or under her watch, that made her happy. And somehow she felt comforted about it, that the incident had reformed her. So she could sleep then. So that will be all for this video. I will be coming back with the final one just very soon actually. Till then, all of you take care and study nicely.